Welcome back and welcome to Real Talk with Rabbit and Rudder. I'm Billy Rabbit of Hometown Real Estate.
And I'm Ron Rudder, and this is where we discuss real estate topics for educational purposes.
And today, Ron, I'd like to kind of go a little off the cuff, and I'd like to kind of talk about 2021 in the real estate market, and especially, kind of dive into a little bit into what's going on here in Southern Maryland with real estate. So what are you seeing?
Well, right now it's definitely a seller's market. There's much more buyers on the market than there are inventory. I have several buyers right now who are having a hard time finding the house that they want. And it's just not there,
No, I agree. And, we're even seeing now where even land and lots are, being chased after just like houses are being right now too. So, when you got a nice lot in the right area, it's, getting, different multiple offers as well. So, Ron, I know the lot's going on right now and, you kind of alluded to the seller's market, which I agree with you. But the other thing I think that's really kind of slowing us up is there's people that would probably list their house and sell. But right now they're not because they can't find a house to buy.
Right.
So, what are you telling these buyers and sellers that are coming to you with this? What's your outlook?
Well, I always tell my sellers that, yeah, definitely I'm going to find you a house. I'm confident of that. Time-wise, that's a little more iffy in this market. One of the other reasons I already talked about the shortage of houses, but also the interest rates are at a record low. So, right now folks can afford much more of a house than they could a year or two ago.
Sure. Well, we are seeing signs though that the interest rates are coming up. Yeah. Bond prices are starting to rise. We're seeing some changes there in the bond market. Right. So, typically interest rates will follow that. Ron, with the market being as hot as it is right now and everything's getting multiple offers, are you telling buyers to be patient? Are you telling them to go in over $30,000, $40,000, $1,000 over asking price? What are you doing there?
There is no patience in this market. I tell my clients, as soon as you see something you want, you got to jump on it.
Oh, sure.
It's going to be gone tomorrow. You can't wait till the weekend to look at it. If it comes on the market on a Wednesday, you have to go out Wednesday night and take a look at it. One of the things that I do to try to ensure that we get our offer accepted is make a professional packet up, for the offer, so the other agent knows that they're dealing with a professional and an expert in his field.
Yeah. So I'm even having a lot of sellers right now too, Ron, that they're listing their house or they're talking about listing their house, and they're actually going to go in and either move in with a family member so they can build or until that right house comes on, or they're actually going to go and rent for a while. They figure that, hey, I'm getting, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 of equity. I'm going to put it in the bank. I'm going to go rent for a year or so until I can figure out exactly what my next move is. So, do you think that's a good move? Or what's your thoughts on that?
I'm the kind of, to the belief, now, again, the interest rates, you want to take advantage of them now because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So, you would hate to tell someone, okay, I pulled $50,000 out of the market and in equity, and sure, that might be great right now, but a year from now, let's say the interest rates right now are averaging 2.75. I don't know, I'm just saying off the top of my head.
Yeah, but it's right in the twos, high twos.
A year from now, it's 4.25. Well, that's going to eat up that $50,000 equity real quick.
Sure. Yeah. No, absolutely. So now, of course, with the equity or with the change in interest rates, that probably will impact the price of houses to come down. That's just inevitable.
Yes.
I say it's inevitable, but I guess I should preface that with the inventory shortage too. So we're not seeing the inventory spike or whatever that everybody, I guess, was hoping for. We're seeing it still pretty steady.
Right.
I guess we are still, pretty early in the selling season.
Yes.
Though I know that, we still have a lot of buyers and sellers that are kind of holding off for right now. Mm-hmm. We're also seeing some changes in brokerages too. We're seeing a lot of agents kind of shifting and moving and, changing, from brokerage to different things. We're seeing some team shakeup and different things like that. What are you hearing out there in the marketplace? When it comes to real estate companies here locally?
I think that all brokerages as a whole in general are looking for those listings. that's what's going to fuel this market even faster, is if we have the listings, which we have a shortage of right now, then those buyers will be there.
Sure.
So we need to promote to people who are thinking about selling, hey, this is a good time to sell. You'll get top dollar for your house. Don't be afraid of where you're going to go. Let that be in a professional's hands. We'll take care of you and make sure you get to that house that you want.
Sure. And I agree, Ron. I mean, marketing is still very important. Professional photos. I mean, doing all the things that you would typically want or see from
Right.
from a listing agent. I mean, those are still very aware of live. I mean, I know some agents have we're not necessarily seeing all the professional photography. Just because the market. The houses
Right.
are gone within 2 or 3 days. So, but I mean, there is lots of different changes going on. I mean, for sure. So
Yes.
So one of the things that I think we should hit on or touch on too is, especially in our atmosphere, not necessarily for the buyers or sellers, but I mean, we're hearing a lot of things about Zillow.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're hearing lots of talks about Zillow and even a lot of talks and a lot of changes with some of these cloud brokerages too.
Right.
Some of these brokerages that don't necessarily have, your brick and mortar, building, kind of a work from home type of atmosphere,
Yeah.
so I mean, we're seeing some of those kind of come in. Now they've been around for a while,
Right.
so it's not necessarily, new technology, but we are seeing some different brokerages enter the marketplace here.
Yes.
So Zillow, I mean, I actually read an article this morning about how Zillow they've introduced this whole cash for your Zestimate. So if your house has a Zestimate of, let's say, $350,000, Zillow will buy your house for $350,000, or they'll guarantee that it will be sold for $350,000 or more.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
I mean, what's your thoughts on that, Ron?
Man, that's a bold statement to make,
I agree. So.
I mean, as a real estate agent, when I do my pricing strategy, I have an idea what the house is going to be, a very strong idea, but I don't make any guarantees. You never know what's going to happen in this market, but you pretty much have a great idea of where it's going to be,
Sure.
where it's going to land. By Zillow saying that, that's a big beast, so they're able to absorb some of those costs in case, they're off. And usually these estimates aren't the most reliable. They're good for a general, idea, but they're all automated, so it's not like they're specific. But wow, that's a big, bold statement to make.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I mean, you kind of said it there too, Ron, that, that's all fine and dandy until there's a couple bad estimates that are, and then all of a sudden, Zillow's absorbing that, or
Right.
or getting themselves into some challenges there for sure. So
I'm not sure. Are they a publicly traded company?
they are a publicly traded
Well,
company. Yep.
So they answer to their stockholders. So once their stockholders start seeing those hits come, sure, it's a great promotional topic, but if you're losing money, you're losing money, and the
sure.
stockholders are not going to stand for that.
Well, and let's face it, the real estate industry is following suit. It's following, the Zillow model, I guess if you want to call it that, the Zillow model. Redfin introduced, similar model, kind of a, baseline or, entry-level brokerage. We'll list your house for, 1%, 1.5%, whatever it is, kind of that bargain or whatever. But even the auto industry has tried to shift to this. You saw an entry of CarMax, Carvana, different things like that, where you can buy your house, or buy your car online. Don't even have to do that. I mean, Carvana even has these vending machines.
Yeah, I
you
saw
can,
that.
You go in, put it in a nickel or whatever, and you get a car that pops out. So I mean,
Put in $30,000 in the car pops
yeah,
out.
exactly right. As long as you make those monthly payments. And that's fine and dandy, but and look, that will probably appeal to certain consumers.
Right.
But I think a car is much different than a house, right? And let's face it. I mean, we've been hearing talks about Amazon's going to take over the housing market. Amazon's going to take over the housing market.
Where'd that go?
Well, exactly. And who knows? I mean, Jeff Bezos can, he could hear our segment here or whatever and decide he's getting into the real estate market.
I'm going to show that rabbit and run it.
You're exactly right. So, but we've been hearing that for a long time. But I still think, and I think where a lot of real estate companies and brokerages and things like that, where they're going to win or they're going to lose the battle here in this, and especially in Southern Maryland, it's going to be having that personal connection with the community.
Right.
It's going to be having that personal touch and that customer experience that is far superior than the rest. And they will truly be the ones that are going to win out. You know, the idea that somebody is going to be comfortable enough, and again, there's going to be consumers out there that are going to try it, you know. And we could get into a lot of different theories or ideas or things like that about where the housing market's going to shift over the years and things like that. But there's still going to be some type of personal connection. There's still going to be a lot of answers or a lot of questions that need to be answered. And I still think that's where the real estate professional, that local, you know, boots on the ground is going to win this real estate battle. No, Ron, I appreciate, you know, the time today and talking about it. I know we kind of touched on some.
It was good talking about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, and you know, look, lots of information. We've got a ton of articles on our website, exploremdhomes.com. And we're posting a lot of videos and things like that, trying to keep you updated with this crazy real estate market here in Southern Maryland. And please reach out to the Rabbit team if you have any questions about buying or selling or need anything related to real estate in your life.
We'll take care of you.
Absolutely. So until next time, thank you.